everybody, it's Kate with CateTV. I'm here at the Roger Smith Hotel where we're staying for the 140 conference in New York City. Kate's a little bit tired, running a little late, heading over to the end of the conference, day 2. In the lobby doing what we're doing. It's a Twitter world. We all know about that. Roger Smith Hotel is known as a social media hotel in New York City. I'm kind of asking questions to the gentleman, where to catch a train, or whether to catch a cab. And then somebody pipes up, I love it. You can kind of tell she has a Twitter personality. She says, maybe you want to catch a subway. And I'm like, well, tell me about that. And then she says, well, a cab's a little bit better. And then I'm like, don't want to get sidetracked. Next thing I know, she said, well, I was at the 140. And of course I said, what were you doing there? And she said,
well, I'm the Secretary of State in California, and we were talking about voting and Twitter and some of the things that we've done around the country, how we're using Twitter to make democracy work better.
Fantastic. I actually missed that or whatever, but there was a couple different great stories. Yes, tell me, like, being here at the 140 conference, contributing what you did, what did you get out of this? And how is it going to be able to help you going back to help communicate better?
I'm just always looking for ways that people engage, and it's like we got a lot of young people who don't vote or don't register, and so I'm looking, well, how do we reach them? And I'm not going to tell them you got to come to me.
Right.
I try to go to where they are, and they're on Twitter, and they're on Facebook, and I'm on Facebook, and I connect with people that way a lot.
Now, to be honest with you, I don't know that much about you. This is actually the first time I met you, and I didn't even know any of this.
Total happens.
Exactly. So my question is, so here you are. I have no statistics. Are you the only Secretary of State that's doing this? Tell me how it came about and how you've been able to help perhaps other states do the same thing.
I'm a geek. So back in 1993, when I first got elected to the legislature, I carried a bill to put the California legislature online. It had never been done before anywhere in the world.
Fantastic.
1993.
1993, wow.
So I just got into, we've got this really amazing technology, and let's see how we can make things better. How can we make government work better? How can we connect young people to government? I mean, I want kids out there to look at me and go, oh, I could do that job someday. I mean, if you can't see somebody doing something, then you can't imagine that you could do it. Particularly, we need more women.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely need more. Okay, so here you are, 1993. Okay, so give me a quick chronology of different platforms that you've been on and how you engaged in those platforms.
Well, pretty much everything that's come along. But in the beginning, it was like I asked, tell high school students this, I had to get special permission to have an email address in the legislature because this was 1995. Nobody had email yet.
So special permission from the legislature?
Yeah, to have an email address. Wow. So, I mean, this is like at the very beginning of it. So I've just, at the beginning, right, it was all one way. Like government, we put stuff out, people can use it. The social media, we start doing something different now. We start saying, all right, how can we have a conversation that's not just, I tell you what I'm doing and you tell me what you want. I mean, how can we have this much more complicated soup that might take off in a completely different direction, and you might meet somebody standing in the lobby of the Roger Smith. Maybe you can tell he's going to go to the Twitter conference just by some vibe that comes.
That's true.
So it's really, there's a lot still to happen. We don't know how it's going to happen.
It's interesting. So give me an example of very specific, like, give me an incident or an occasion that happened that that you started it and that somebody responded and something affected change. I don't know if I'm answering that.
No, that's actually happened a number of times. I listed all my campaign contributions on a website.
Your own personal
My
campaign?
own personal campaign contributions.
Is that called transparency? Oh.
Yeah, yes, it is called transparency. But this is like way before people had a name. I just put it out there. And now, that's just something that actually most states now require it, that it be publicly available. And I just keep pushing the envelope. I'm from California, so that helps, right?
Good.
Because I've always got somebody who says, well, why don't you do this, or let's try that, or let's get a social media group together. Let's see if people want to do a video challenge to doing videos on why they're voting.
Sure.
And so we have kids go out with a flip cam and do that. Just, I never know what's going to happen next.
I want to know a young person who you are mentoring, or I'm sure there's people out there that are following you. So give me just if it's okay, name one individual and what you've been able to show them and how they've been able to affect somebody else.
Well, I'm Dee Bowen on Twitter.
Dee Bowen.
It's really easy.
D-B-O-W.
D-B-O-W-E-N.
D. Bowen.
And I'm also on Facebook. And I will often get a question from a young person about, what do you think about this major, or do you ever have internships? That's a common question. I've had some young people intern in my office as a result of a Twitter question or a Facebook question.
Do you actually have, just curious, do you have social media people working with you?
All of the tweets are me. And I think one of the things that, for me, makes it really different is that it's me on Facebook too, and you can tell because I said to somebody, the minute you see me tweet that it's Friday night and I wish somebody else would fold my laundry, it's not staff.
Because the staff's not going to fold the laundry.
Nobody would, no staff would post that. So I want to let people know, it really is transparency, but I want to let people know that I'm just a person. I love to garden. I have cats. If you follow me on Twitter, you're going to find out that what my passions are.
What are your cat's names?
My cat's names are Maplethorpe,
Oh.
Ozzy, and Sushi.
Do they tweet?
They're not very good at the phone.
So they pause too much, right?
If I do any live radio or TV, I have to close him into a different room because he comes in and talks very loud. Right? He doesn't like to be left out of the social media. Yeah.
Cool. So we talked a little bit about video, and quite frankly, that's what CateTV is about. I've always been about video. So, and you and I just kind of started a discussion about that when we finished up afterwards or whatever. So I'd love to be able to help you just talk a little bit more about that and maybe help you engage a little bit more.
Well, video is really interesting too. I mean, I had in 2008, we had an issue about ballot design and some of our polling.
Imagine that.
And somebody took a camera in and videoed themselves voting, and it's actually illegal to do that, but that's the law is.
Don't tell
the law is, but it allowed me to see and actually to prove to some people who were skeptical that there was a ballot design issue exactly what was happening that caused the error, and the error caused people's vote not to count. So here we have this instant feedback. And very often, if I have a question about something that's going on, I can find out faster on Twitter than I can by calling some more central source. It's just faster. Just think about the plane that went down in the Hudson, right? I was at an airport about to get on a flight on the same airline, and I heard this rumble. There's nothing on the news.
Wait a minute. You're about to get on that particular plane?
Not that particular plane. Same airline, though.
Yeah.
Just sort of this rumble that a plane had gone down. There's no information anywhere.
Right.
But I just pulled up my laptop, and there were tweets. There was video posted by somebody who had camera. There were pictures posted.
Now you don't know this because we didn't have this conversation, but I'm going to tell you this